reading this like new age horoscope weird book called Pronoia. But the idea was, it was a cool message. Pronoia is the antidote to paranoia. So paranoia is you connect the dots and everything is against you is your conclusion. Pronoia is you connect the dots and everything is serving you. Which interpretation would you choose? You know? And so, do we have agency over that interpretation? There's certainly predisposition. You know, past trauma can make you look at everything that's happening in the future as dangerous, right? Trauma makes the past overdetermine the present and conjure up a future that becomes identified with death or chaos, right? David Lenson says that bad trips on drugs are just exaggerated versions of the same thing, right? A pre-existing fear you had about the experience overdetermines the effects of the drug and conjures up a future of, oh, I'm going crazy or I'm going to die. It's just an amplified exaggeration of what we do when we're already anxious, which is formed by past experiences. But you can change those past experiences by changing your interpretive frameworks. One of my most popular videos was, can you change the past? And the idea was, you know, epigenetics has to do with the effects that experiences have on your physiology. Experience shapes biology. But let's say you do an MDMA therapy session, like they're like.
Sorry, signed up for 2 years. I did hypnotherapy.
Okay.
Every week.
Great.
It does. It reframes.
Great. So there's an organization called the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies, which just got granted phase 3 clinical trials, designated breakthrough therapy using MDMA to help people with treatment-resistant PTSD.
Is this MAPS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people who've been at war and are not responding to medication. So what they do, this particular technology, puts people in what they call the optimal arousal zone. So it quiets the amygdala, which is the fear response, which is trying to protect you from impending doom, quiets that while boosting activity in the frontal cortex, so you can think rationally about things. Then it simultaneously engages you, because it's a methamphetamine, while simultaneously making you feel relaxed as you're more engaged. They call that the Goldilocks. It's just like planet Earth, just close enough to the sun, not too much. And that optimal arousal zone is great for cognitive reframing. It's like you can think back about the experience. You can be like, okay, that sucked, but that was one isolated experience. It doesn't condemn me to have future experiences like that. And that sort of realignment and cognitive reframing and repatterning of the memory changes the past experience in the sense that it changes the physiological effects that it's having on your present moment. So maybe you're not getting the cortisol anymore, you're not getting the anxiety secreting chemicals anymore, and so you're effectively cured. So I would say that changing those interpretive frameworks and exercising agency over that and realizing that you can do that is the best intervention.
Thank you.
Thank you.